An accountant discovered the discrepancy while reviewing the budget for new train platforms under Grand Central Terminal in Manhattan. The budget showed that 900 workers were being paid to dig caverns for the platforms as part of a 3.5-mile tunnel connecting the historic station to the Long Island Railroad. But the accountant could only identify about 700 jobs that needed to be done, according to 3 project supervisors. Officials could not find any reason for the other 200 people to be there. Nobody knew what those people were doing, if they were doing anything, said Michael Horodnicianu, who was then the head of construction at the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, which runs transit in New York. The workers were laid off, Mr. Horodnicianu said, but no one figured out how long they had been employed. All we knew is they were each being paid about $1,000 every day. The discovery, which occurred in 2010 and was not disclosed to the public, illustrates one of the main issues that has helped lead to the increasing delays now tormenting millions of subway riders every day. The leaders entrusted to expand New York's regional transit network have paid the highest construction costs in the world, spending billions of dollars that could have been used to fix existing subway tunnels, tracks, trains and signals. The estimated cost of the Long Island Railroad project, known as East Side Access, has ballooned to $12 billion, or nearly $3.5 billion for each new mile of track, 7 times the average elsewhere in the world. The recently completed 2nd Avenue subway on Manhattan's Upper East Side and the 2015 extension of the No. 7 line to Hudson Yards also cost far above average, at $2.5 billion and $1.5 billion per mile, respectively. The spending has taken place even as the MTA has cut back on core subway maintenance because, as the New York Times has documented, generations of politicians have diverted money from the Transit Authority and saddled it with debt. The Times found that a host of factors have contributed to the Transit Authority's exorbitant capital costs. For years, the Times found, public officials have stood by as a small group of politically connected labor unions, construction companies and consulting firms have amassed large profits. Trade unions, which have closely aligned themselves with Gov. Andrew M. Cuomo and other politicians, have secured deals requiring underground construction work to be staffed by as many as 4 times more laborers than elsewhere in the world, documents show. Construction companies, which have given millions of dollars in campaign donations in recent years, have increased their projected costs by up to 50% when bidding for work from the MTA, contractors say. Consulting firms, which have hired away scores of MTA employees, have persuaded the authority to spend an unusual amount on design and management, statistics indicate. Public officials, mired in bureaucracy, have not acted to curb the costs. The MTA has not adopted best practices nor worked to increase competition in contracting, and it almost never punishes vendors for spending too much or taking too long, according to Inspector General reports. At the heart of the issue is the obscure way that construction costs are set in New York.